Back in 2009, Donna Ayres experienced one of the saddest things that can happen in a person's life. Her father tragically passed away. Ever since then, Donna has been at the centre of some very strange activity, leading her to believe that she is being haunted by the ghost of her late father. In 2014, after years of creepy events taking place in her home, she moved into a new place, hoping to finally be free of the ghost. But when the activity continued, she started recording some of the mysterious things that were happening to her. Hoping to document the haunting activity, she uploaded many of these recordings to a YouTube channel, and viewers have been left spooked.
Come on, move it again, please.
You wouldn't believe me if I said, because you'll think I'm losing the plot. I'm not. How is this possible? Guys, you've got to be seeing this. Who are you? What do you want? Are you restless? What do you want? Why won't you leave me alone? What is it you're trying to tell me? Guys, you're seeing this, aren't you? This is ridiculous. Guys, this is ridiculous. Listen. Why you? No. Sorry, guys. I'm just calling it.
These mysterious events scared Donna so much, it starts to have an effect on her mental health. But a cup falling off the counter and a coin moving around on its own weren't the only creepy incidents she caught on camera.
Are you seeing this? Twice. That's twice now. Here we are again. And this is what I've been doing since last night. And it just keeps doing it and doing it and doing it and doing it. Guys, what? Seriously, mate. That's the two pences, yeah? There is no string, there's no magnets, there's nothing. Look, there's nothing. Nothing. Look. Break. What do you want? Guys, are you seeing it? Whoa. How is that possible? Come on, it's in a jar. Wow. And if anybody's wondering, the lines on the roof that you can see there, these two lines here, they're the reflection of the chain there. There is nothing, there's nothing there. This is all happening around me, and I just capture it as it goes. I'm not used to it now. Check it out, that is amazing. Well, if that's you, Pops, thank you. Oh. Is that you, Dad? Yeah. No, I don't like that. Oh, I don't like that. If it is you, Pops, then thank you for letting me know you're here. I don't know what the dark feeling is though that I get every time you're about.
Donna desperately asks what the ghost might want, but gets no answer. However, as her chandelier is moving around, it seems to respond to her voice. It's around this time that she starts to believe that the activity is being caused by the ghost of her father, who passed away back in 2009. However, she can't help but wonder if all this really is because of her dad's ghost. Why is he scaring her so much? And why would he want to torment her like this? What happens next is even creepier.
I've now decided to put a bunch of keys on a tack, to see if they get moving banks, creaks, you name it. Not sleeping, waking up at 3 in the morning. I'll just show you, that there's nothing there. Just a regular bunch of keys. Just your average keys on a tack. There's the picture that got moved, and I'm getting a feeling again. Whoa! I knew that was going to happen. And there's nothing in my flat, is there not? No, of course not. There you have it again. Yeah, I'm just going to upload this and then I'm going to go into the front room and get the footage I've just got in there. Well, that scenario that's just happened. Oh, it's so cold in here. I hope I've got that, and I hope you see that, guys. No lies to this. This isn't a prank. This is real. This is happening to me. Scary actually, because being alone, My partner doesn't come round till the day tomorrow, so I have to put up with all this going on. But I've managed to get quite a bit, so I just hope it's okay for you guys. I'll just keep posting as it comes. It's gone cold again. It seems so strange. See, I can feel there's something here right now. And yet I don't. No one here. Yeah, there's no one around me.
By this point, Donna no longer thinks she's being visited by the ghost of her father, but by something much more sinister. Some viewers even speculate that she could be haunted by a demon or a mimic, an evil entity that copies the actions of living people to feed on fear. But if Donna's story wasn't enough to scare you, just wait until you see the next one. Hybabon243 works as a night watchman in Taiwan. Although he works overnight, his job is usually straightforward. All he has to do is sit in the staff room, monitor the CCTV, and keep watch over the building. He's worked at the company for many months, and it's never been particularly demanding until recently, when things started to change. It began with faint noises in the dead of night. At first, Hybabon assumed he was imagining them, or that they were coming from outside. But the noises grew louder and more frequent. Hybabon checked the CCTV footage, hoping to find anything that would explain what he was hearing. But every time he looked, their cameras showed nothing. Confused, Hybabon reported it to his employer, and his boss casually replied, quote, "It's probably just a ghost." Hybabon thought he was joking, but the joke stopped being funny one night when he heard knocking, loud and clear, coming from the empty employee bathroom. Grabbing his phone to record and something to defend himself, he went to investigate. Following the knocking sounds, he enters the bathroom, but what he finds inside defies rational explanation.
I know. Ai đồng đi đâu? Ai đâu? Nam mô Di Đà Phật, Nam mô Di Đà Phật. Ai đâu? Tôi lầy mày nữa. Nam mô Di Đà Phật, Nam mô Di Đà Phật. Có ai không? Có ai trong đi không? Ayo. Không muốn gì đâu. Ai đây? Ai không? Mẹ ơi.
Several unsettling events take place, including doors swinging open and closed all on their own. Hyperbon also finds the water running, even though he knew that it was all turned off just moments before. It's as if someone he can't see is inside the bathroom messing with him, and that's not even the spookiest thing Hyperbon would encounter at work. A few nights later, he and another staff member are working together when they hear noises from a room down the hall. They know they're the only two in the building, so they go to investigate, and what Hyperbon captures on camera is deeply unsettling. Something that looks unsettlingly like a pale face can be seen on the other side of the window. It appears to stare at Hyperbon and the other employee for a few seconds before it disappears from sight. What's even creepier is that something like a dark, skeletal hand can be seen resting on the windowsill, and it moves out of view when the face vanishes. Hyperbon notes that the room is on a high floor of the building and there's no balcony outside, so it would be impossible for anyone to be standing out there. The only way he can explain it is that the building is being haunted by a ghost, and if you thought that was disturbing, just wait until you see what happens in the next clip. Graveyards and cemeteries are understandably believed to be incredibly haunted places, but it's usually only at night that people feel afraid to enter them. For this reason, Alexander Gabetti from Vacaria, Brazil, felt no reason to be scared when visiting a family member's grave during the day. However, from the moment he entered the cemetery, he felt a mysterious sense of dread, as if something horrible was about to happen. He tried his best to ignore the feeling and visited the grave as planned, but just as he was about to leave, he spotted something in the corner of his vision, something that shouldn't have been there. Creeped out, Alexander pulled out his phone and started recording. Alexander sees what looks like a pale face staring out at him. Initially, he tries to convince himself that it's just a person who accidentally got locked inside, but if this was the case, he believes they would have called out and asked for help. Whoever or whatever this is just stares silently. Creeped out, Alexander quickly leaves the cemetery and shares the footage to his social media, hoping to get some answers. Many people think that the face could belong to a ghost, perhaps someone who is buried inside the crypt. Even if there is another way to explain this spooky footage, the idea that a ghost was watching him from the shadows is something Alexander will probably never forget. The San Pedro Mall in Costa Rica is rumoured to be haunted by several ghosts and paranormal entities. Johannes Emil worked as a security guard in the San Pedro Mall all the way back in 2012. Johannes claims that he and other members of staff, as well as several customers, regularly saw shadow figures and heard disembodied voices. According to him, one of the most haunted locations in the mall is the basement parking lot, which is said to experience more intense paranormal activity than anywhere else in the building. Johannes claims it is so frightening down there, especially at night, that he and most of his fellow security guards try to avoid it at all costs. One night, just as Johannes is getting ready to finish his shift, something appears in the parking lot that sends a chill down his spine. Johannes had been waiting for his co-worker to arrive, so he'd been glancing at the CCTV every now and then to check if his co-worker's car was pulling into the parking lot. Eventually, he sees the car arrive, and then he sees his co-worker, but then he sees something else. This is what he saw.
Gerardo, fíjate detrás tuyo. Perilla, ma, usted está copiando el monitor, ma, dígame algo, ¿salió algo ahí? Correcto, aquí salió algo raro, ma, y véngate mejor.
Set aside the potato quality footage, two figures can be seen walking through the parking lot. The first is Johannes' co-worker, but Johannes has no idea who or what the other one is. Johannes' co-worker seems to notice that something is behind him and slowly turns around, but by the time he looks, whatever it was has disappeared. When he arrived at the security office, Johannes told him what he had seen on the CCTV. His co-worker was horrified. He said that he had felt an overwhelming sense of dread wash over him as soon as he stepped out of his car. He and viewers who have seen this footage believe that what was captured by the CCTV was a shadow figure or a ghost, and that's what caused him to feel that way. So maybe the San Pedro Mall really is as haunted as the stories say. On the 20th of September 2020, a father was playing with his sons when he accidentally caught something on camera that creeped him out. At first, everything seemed normal. His sons were laughing and play fighting. The father recorded them on his phone, planning to send the video to his wife who was away from home. However, as they were playing, one of the boys gets distracted by something. It's only for a second, but it gives his brother the upper hand in the fight. The footage ends soon after that, and although the father didn't notice anything wrong, something mysterious was caught on camera. In fact, it wasn't until the father sent the video to his wife that they noticed anything out of the ordinary. This is what was caught.
A ver. Eso pa eso, eh.
The father sees that his son is looking at something and points the camera in that direction, but doesn't see anything. However, their camera shows that something seems to appear in the corner of the room, what looks like a face, with its mouth wide open, as if it's screaming, can be seen. But when the camera moves back to the same spot, whatever was there a second ago has mysteriously disappeared. This has led the father and many of his social media viewers to think that he accidentally caught a ghost on camera. But what do you think? Is this a ghost? Let me know.